Are you thinking about buying or selling a home in Florida? Whether you're considering your first home, relocating, downsizing, upsizing, moving out, moving on, or planning to acquire an income-producing property as an investment, Team ROC of Residential Movement Group is your real ownership connection. They are Florida Realtors Joanne Beepot, David Ham, and Ella Marie Jean Baptiste. For rock-solid professionalism and expertise in all aspects of real estate transactions, lean on Team ROC to help you accomplish all of your real estate goals. Contact Team ROC at 904-385-9169, offering you service in English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Haitian Creole at 904-385-9169. Also listen to Team ROC here on the ROC Real Estate Radio Show every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m.
Everything discussed on air in this broadcast is for general information purposes only. For particular help with your real estate needs, contact our team of realtors for a complete individual consultation concerning your specific concerns. Furthermore, team members are realtors, not practicing lawyers or CPAs. Nothing discussed by anyone on the show shall be considered legal advice or tax advice.
What's up, everybody? This is Ella Marie Jean Baptiste coming to you from Residential Movement Real Estate Group. Today is another day for us to come and have a conversation. We are from Team ROC, guys, the team that gets you to the closing table. So today we still have, guess what? Today we have Joanne Beepot with us.
Hey, I am glad to be back.
Welcome back.
I am so glad she's back. We miss you so much Saturday. David cannot stop talking about you. It's just like, oh my God.
Thank you.
So, bringing what Joanne will say. So I'm so glad Joanne is here with us today, guys. So it is a pleasure for us to be back with you guys to give you the advice. Tune in your station and listen to what we have to say. Unfortunately, Mr. Timothy cannot be with us, but guess what? We always have so fresh thing for you on the table. We have our specialist, the credit repair from Justice League of Credit, and is here with us today. Is going to give us more information how to get your credit ready to purchase. But before we do all that, let me introduce my co-host. We have Mr. Ham with us.
Hello, everybody. I'm David Ham, part of your Real Ownership Connection. I'm really happy to be here today for the exciting show that we have ahead of us. So let's get to it.
And then we do have our wonderful Miss Joanne Beepot with us. Miss Joanne Beepot, broker assistant. So since she's been to the show, guys, out of the show, today I have to introduce her. No longer a realtor. She's now a broker.
Broker associate.
Thank you. She is now a broker associate with the Residential Movement. So let me introduce her. So Miss Joanne.
Thank you, everybody. It is so good to be back. I missed being on a show last week, and this show today is so exciting. We're going to be talking all about credit and how to get you ready to be the best shape for any real estate transaction you want to go after. So I am excited. So I can't wait to get all the information to you.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Calvy with Justice League of Credit, and I am the credit repair expert. So, thank you.
Before we go, let me give just a small recapitulation. That's the way I said, right? Mm-hmm. Recapitulation. Okay, I speak French. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my French in.
You can say recap.
Yes. Let me give you guys a small recapitulation of what happened last week, Saturday. We had Miss Sophia was with us, and then she went all of the programs she had, and then we had a lot of questions about it. The first time home buyer program. She talked about the 100% FHA program she have. She also talked about the bond program she has, and then she also talked about the VA and also what we call Salute Our Soldier that can be included in VA. So, guys, I have a lot of people who call me about those programs, so please feel free to call our team if you got any additional question regarding the program. But today we're going to be talking about what can you do to be ready to use those programs. So
let's tell them where to call us.
Yes.
Because that's part of the feedback that we got back, because we're, in addition to all the talking, we're also listening to you. And so you all called in and said, well, we can't listen to the end of the show sometimes, and we need to know where to call. So if you're listening right now,
the phone number we do have, let me give it to you guys. Write it down. It's 904-385-9169. Again, the phone number, guys, is 904-385-9169. You can also email us at teamworkfl@gmail.com if you got any questions, because we can answer your question in email. You can find us, guys, in Facebook, which is Teamwork. In Facebook, you can send us some question. We can answer you right then and there. Also, in our YouTube channel, we put our show in our YouTube channel for you guys, for people who did not have a chance to listen to us on Saturday, so they can listen to us on YouTube as well.
You might have to do some work to try and find it in your search. I suggest you put in Team, T-E-A-M, space, ROC, space, FL, and then that can filter through all of the other out there and get to
us, because
Florida.
the reason is because the YouTube channel is just open, so we have to get it. Yeah, we're getting there, so people can search us. So guys, listen, we are here to help you. But before we go, I'm going to pass the microphone again to Joanne, who's going to talk to you a little bit about our special guest we have today.
Absolutely.
And then she's going to mention what needs to be done, okay?
Right. When you think about credit and credit scores in general, a lot of us get afraid of that, because some of us don't even want to check to see where we're at, because we believe that our credit score is going to take us out of the game for getting anything. And credit scores are just so important, because these days employers are checking your credit score. Lenders, when you go in front of them, they look at your credit score to indicate whether you can make payments, how you've been paying, your history, and Mark is going to get into deeper, give you a lot more information on that. But we can't ignore the fact that credit score is extremely important in the things that we may want to accomplish financially in our lives, particularly when it comes to real estate. You know, there's so many programs that Sophia talked about last week from Guild Mortgage, and they're all based on having a particular credit score. So having the right credit score can make that loan less expensive, because you'll get a lower interest rate, or it will make you access programs like the $7,500 bond program if you had a 660. So the credit score will give you money, or a mediocre to poor credit score will take you out of the market for getting money totally. And all of a sudden you're having a higher interest rate. And what does that mean? You need to bring more money to the closing table to get a real estate transaction done.
We do have some lender who can go all the way to 500 beacon score to do your house. But there is some caveat in that. Yeah. Guess what? When you get that lender who finally get you to the 500 beacon score, guess what? They need a 10% down, maybe more. And they need to find out where you live for the past 2 years, what you do. They need more information, because the lender doesn't trust you. And then that's the reason why, when the lender doesn't trust you, they want more information out, so they can know exactly where to find you when you don't make your mortgage payment. So that's what we say, that your credit is your passport.
Absolutely. And not just that, you have to bring more money to the closing table.
Exactly.
Because it's like you're leaving money on the table, because all those funds that can help you, all of a sudden you've got to come up with those funds, and you have to save a lot more money. So credit in real estate is very important.
Not only that, so even the seller sometimes look at, when we send the pre-approval to the seller, they look at this FHA, 10% down, they automatically think that is because that person doesn't have good credit. And then they don't want to put you under contract if they don't think you're going to close.
Right.
So again, your credit is your passport. You have something.
So let's find out from our expert.
So Mark, tell us, what is credit? What are the parts of it? And help our listeners understand what they can do.
First off, hello, everybody. My name is Mark. And yes, credit. What makes up a credit score is a few different things, actually. One is credit mix. The second is payment history. The third is credit inquiries. And also is the amount of debt that you owe. And last but not least is credit age. But the two things I'm actually going to talk about briefly is what affects your credit score the most is the payment history and the amount of debt that you owe. First off, payment history, it's worth at least 35% of your credit score. So yes, that's very important. And also the amount of debt, that worth at least 30% of your credit score. Usually when I have a lot of customers come to me, they, have issues like, I got, certain things off my credit score, and, such as collections. But when I actually check the credit score, first thing I look at is their payment history. And I also see the amount of debt that they have. But most important is payment history, because a late payment can really affect your credit score a lot. And a lot of people don't understand that. And when I look at your payment history, I go back at least 2 years to see exactly why your scores is affected the way they are. And the best thing for you to do to get that corrected is to go to your creditor and ask them, say, hey, I understand that I've made a mistake and I had issues during that particular time. Usually after you explain yourself to the creditor, sometimes they may go ahead and correct the late payment. And if they do, that actually is going to help your scores a lot. If they don't, then what you're going to have to do from that point on is to make sure that you make your payments on time.
So let's say something about it. Let's say that the reason why, don't do it yourself, because let me say that to you.
Yes.
If you're a lawyer, you cannot have a surgery. So stay, and I love to tell people that stay in your lane. So that's the reason we went professional here that can tell you. Just because they tell you to call your creditor, you don't know what you're going to tell them. So therefore, you need to call just lead of credit, and then they know the language to use.
Exactly.
So in order for them the technique to use, in order for them to do that. So give them how do you get information?
To reach me, we can be reached at 904-339-8051. I'm going to say that again. We can be reached at 904-339-8051. That's how you can reach us.
Also, and what I wanted to say too is, we are very careful with the guests we bring on the show.
Exactly.
Because we want to make sure that our guests are reputable, they know their stuff, and they're really adding value to the people out there. And Justice League of Credit has some amazing, amazing stories to share of people who had 400 in the 400s, the 500s, and they were able to get them in the 600s enough to qualify for some very good loans and also to get down payment assistance. So this young man who's speaking to you today, I call him like a miracle credit worker, because he can really, really make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. So I have to agree with that.
Don't take yourself out of the market if you think that your credit score is in a 400, or if anybody's telling you you'll never be able to own a home because of your credit. We're here to tell you it's not going to be tomorrow, all right? It's not going to be next week. But working with this young man can help you get to where you want to be, within 90 days, within 120, whatever your situation is. He will work that time frame with you. And I say that because there's so many credit repair companies out there, and we hear lots of horror stories about, our customers' money being taken. And that's why this young man is on the show, because he's reputable, he knows his stuff, he's getting customers to the closing table, he's improving scores, and he's improving, as a result, the quality of the lives of the customers who he's being blessed with. So he's doing a lot of blessings.
I have to say that as a realtor, and we do have a lot of people coming to the table and ask us, oh, yeah, we want to be on your show. But before we put that person on a pedestal, I call this show a pedestal. Before we put you there, we want to work with you to see how you work. If we don't like the way you work, guess what? Our customer is not going to like the way you work either. So therefore, when we bring somebody to the table, we work with that person. We know that person's reputation before we bring it, because our name also is on the line. So that's the reason I have to highly recommend Justice League, because they know their stuff. And the other thing, they return phone call. They talk to you. They make you feel like, okay, your credit is the most important thing. So what can they do to help you? It's like somebody is giving you $1 million, because that's what your credit is. Because when you have good credit,
the world is
open to you. So they can send you a black American Express card like that, because they know that your credit is good. Yeah. So that's the reason we come up to the table with people that we know that can bring you where you need to be.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Let's talk a little bit about a starting position, where people start off. Earlier on, Joanne was mentioning that many people are scared just even to look.
Yes.
And so how do you start with someone who's fresh right from the beginning? How would you help someone?
Yes, usually what I do is, after I talk with the person, get them, understand exactly how they're feeling and what's affecting their credit, from their point of view. And what I usually do is I have them to fill out a form. That way we can get their credit report, and I can do what's called a credit analysis. I can actually break down everything that's affecting their credit score from start to finish. And once I finish that credit analysis, I sit down, call the customer, or if it can either be in video form, like Zoom call. Mm-hmm. That way the customer can see who they're working with, because I like to be transparent. And once I do that, I go step by step, say, hey, this is what's affecting your credit, this late payment, student loan. And after we get to the bottom of what's affecting their credit, then we go to the next step of letting them know exactly what I'm going to dispute. And once I do that, we wait 30 to 35 days. And once 30 to 35 days come, I make an appointment with the customer, sit down, tell them, hey, this is what got deleted, this is what didn't get deleted, and we're going to start another game plan to try to get that information deleted or corrected.
Mark, can you share some success stories?
Yes, actually.
From a real estate perspective.
Many stories, but this one particular is very special to me. This gentleman, I'm not going to say his name, but I'll say Justin Mobile is the person that I worked with. Years ago, I've known him for a long time, and he had issues with his credit. And he came to me and said, Mark, I know that my credit is at this point right now, and I don't think I can get this and that. And he told me what he was trying to do. He told me that he's trying to sell his house to buy another house, and he needed his credit score to be at a certain point. So I asked him, what is the time frame do we have to work with? He gave me about 4 months. Actually, 4 months. When I started with him, his credit scores was at a very low 400s. And I told him, I say, Justin, make sure that you follow everything that I tell you, because what I tell you, you're going to see a difference. Do not deter what I'm telling you. Just do exactly what I tell you. I told him, hey, pay off your credit cards, but don't fully pay it off. Leave at least a little balance, and make sure that you pay your bills on time, like your loan payments, car note, and let me do what I do and help you get some of this information, this negative information off your credit report. Once we did that, his score started going up. It's like, okay, all right, let's see what else you can do. Next month, I was able to get some more things. It was a little tough, but we got it done. And now his credit scores is actually at mid 700s now.
Wow,
yeah, mid 700s.
That is
Let's see
absolutely
that.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he calls me all the time. I'm like, literally, he calls me every other day and to congratulate me, because he never thought in a million years that he can have a perfect credit score, because he suffered with a bad credit score for so long, and now he's able to do the things that he was
ready.
Yes.
Let's say that person, like we call, we're not gonna give any name. We call that person Justin.
Yes.
Okay. So anybody can be that Justin. We give a name. Just if you're Justin, I apologize. We mentioned it, Justin. The one that at the same way we can say Ella or Marie. I know. Yeah. Just to protect the innocent. Let's say, can anybody be like that Justin?
Anybody can be like that Justin.
Because
you just have to believe in yourself, and you have to take the time to actually care about your credit, because I've worked with people and they are not serious. So the results are not going to be the same for everybody.
And you said a really important thing, though. You said they have to follow what you say.
Yes.
This is one area. And I say that because so many people that will meet and they have credit issues, they say, oh, well, I'm working on my credit. I'm working on my credit. I am telling you, it's not just working on your credit. You've got to work on your credit the right way and effectively.
With the right person.
Yeah, because you could be paying the card down to zero and you're patting yourself on the back saying, high five to me. I've paid off my card. I've gotten rid of these credit cards. And what you've done, you've hurt your credit because you've eliminated trade lines that are part of the whole credit.
I have
coming
to
up with a
say,
credit
I have
score.
people who work with X, Y, and Z credit company for years. And then X, Y, and Z cannot get them what X, Y, and Z company is doing. They dispute one thing after another, because the longer you stay with them, the more money you put in their pocket. They dispute one after another time. They may dispute one today, next month they dispute another one. But Justice League, it dispute everything in your credit. And then when they dispute, now if you got 60 things in your credit that are delinquent, so let's say that 30 of them drop. So the other 30 now, they're going to find a different way to see what's going to happen with the other 30. At that time, you can tell, okay, let's call those people to make a payment plan with them. Let's call those people to write them off, because there is stuff in your credit 7 years they're supposed to drop off.
And it
so
just comes
they don't
back.
know that. And then, so you need to sit down the same way you do to talk when you buy a house, you talk to a realtor, you talk to a loan officer. When you come to your credit as well, you not just call X, Y, and Z company because they're known in the whole entire state. Just because a company is known doesn't mean that they are the best one. It's not a just fit one fit all. You have to be catered to you, because your situation may not be the same as Justin. Justin may have a different situation. And you can be that Justin too. Does that make sense to you guys? So
it definitely does. But David, you were going to say something.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. So.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. But another thing though, Mark, which I love, is sometimes you put your trust in a company, right, to solve a problem that you have, because you have a dream to just do better.
Yes.
And there's so many companies out there, and you're bugging them to get the info. You're bugging, where am I? Mark, what I love about his solution is automated. At any point in time, you can see everything that he's done on any of the files. You can see what letters have gone out, so that you can feel in control and you can feel hopeful that where you're at today is not where you're going to be tomorrow, because everything possible that can be done to get you to where you want to be is being done on your behalf by Justice League. And I know we're saying Justice League, but I'm telling you, it's a rare find to find a company who can get you there, who has a track record, who can give you the hope that your 400 credit score today will not be that tomorrow, or not tomorrow. It will be that tomorrow, but maybe in a couple of months. Okay, you're going to get the score that you need to accomplish all of the financial things you want to do in your life, whether it's to refinance, whether it's to buy a house, whether it's to get some investment, some flips. Because even though flips, they look at it, it's a different way.
They need some credit score.
You still need a credit score there, even if you're doing hard money, private money, whatever it is. It still is going to factor in somehow.
And the good thing about it, Mark, you can stop me anytime, because I can talk for all of us in one day. The good thing about it, not calling a 1-800 number.
Right. No, you're calling
a local number, and then it's not like when you call a number, somebody else is going to pick up the phone. The same person is helping you today. You're going to get the same person that's going to help you.
Mark does credit repair services nationwide. So
nationwide. When I said it's not a 1-800 number, you're calling anybody who will pick up the phone. It will be like they don't know what you just talked to. Peter, that's another name we're talking about. Mark is going to be the same person answering the phone call. And then when you call him, he knows what you're talking about.
And,
go ahead, Mark.
And right now, we do offer more than just credit repair. We also help people reconsolidate their student loans, because that's another thing that I see when I look at people's credit reports.
Give them your number again, because we don't want to.
Yes, my number is to reach us at Justice League of Credit is 904-339-8051. And yes, we do help people with their student loans, and also we help people that's having issues with their trying to get bank accounts, actually. So We
Awesome.
do.
Awesome.
Yes.
So that's
And,
another treatment
yeah.
right there.
And our
Yes.
phone number for us, Teamwork, is 904-385-9169. So you can reach us at 904-385-9169. And then also in teamworkfl@gmail.com or in our Facebook page if you may have any questions while the show is going on. And then we can go from there. David, you have something to say? You seem very anxious to say something.
Maybe at one point I did, but I'm not right now.
That's what happens when you have two bossy women. Sorry.
It seems like he's looking at me like, let me tell you the way, you're
I'm
not
a
in the
listener.
radio, guys. You're not in the radio, you don't know what's going on. He's raising his hand like, can I say something? Because if he doesn't raise his hand, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but Mark, give our listeners some tips of what can they do. I mean, if you have a financial goal you want to accomplish, call this young man to get started. He'll get you there the most efficient way. There are some things that you can do for yourself, but I'm telling you, working with him is going to make the road shorter and more effective. But please give some tips.
Yes, the quickest thing that you can do, honestly, that to help you rebuild your credit score immediately is, one, go to your local credit union, which I always recommend people to go to their credit union first. If not, we do have alternatives, but you can go to your credit union and ask for a credit rebuilder loan. And a credit rebuilder loan will help you rebuild your credit, and on top of that, it will help you maintain good payment history on each month while you're making payments, on-time payment. Because, again, as I said earlier, the most things that I see when I look at people's credit reports is payment history. And payment history is the most important thing on your credit score. And, yes, credit score. So go to your local credit union, ask for a credit rebuilder loan. The next thing that you want to do is also you can get a secured credit card. The secured credit card, as soon as it reports to your credit report, your scores will jump immediately. So yes, a secured credit card. And also you can add yourself as a authorized user to somebody's account.
Don't give away all your secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Just call me at 904-339-8051.
guys,
They
listen.
need you.
It's not giving all of the secret because
No,
the thing
we're
of the
kidding.
matter is, you're still
You-
going to need
and-
help him
yeah.
to
Yeah.
get
And
it
you-
because
and you
those
need
are
people
not
to
the only
contact all of those folks on your credit report
to get you
just
to
get
the
it done.
level you want.
Because as much as we say we can do it, it's a very difficult thing to do, to get all the right numbers, to get all the right contacts,
Yes.
to get the right letters that they're going to pay attention to, and to compel them to remove these negative items off your credit. So I'm always saying it's worth the investment, and the investment isn't a huge one. So do we want to announce our great program with Mark?
Yes. Let me ask you a question before we go to that part, Mark.
Yes.
What is the difference between a credit rebuilder loan and a secure credit card?
A credit rebuilder loan, it's a loan that you get from the bank, and what they do is, for an example, the credit union will give you a $500 loan. They're going to freeze it, and what you're doing each month, which usually runs about 12 months, you will make a payment each month on that loan until it comes up to $500 plus interest. And after that, the bank released that $500, and you can do whatever it is you want to do with it. You can reinvest it, or you can take that money and actually get a secured credit card. But the credit builder loan, the purpose of that is, for one, as soon as it hits your credit report, your scores will go up. Second, it helps you rebuild a good payment history over the course of the months, which most lenders like to look at is good payment history. And third, you're training yourself how to save money each month, which is very important, especially if you're trying to buy a house. And also a secured credit card is money that you have, that you take yourself, like $200, $500, and you give it to a credit card company or bank or credit union. And what they do is they take that money, freeze it, and they give you $200 or $500, and you use that money, and each time that you use it, you make your payment back to the
credit card
company, and that also helps rebuild your credit score. So, and also when you do make your payments, make sure when you get a secured card, the two things that you want to know from that credit card company is, of course, the payment date and also the date that they report to the credit bureau. I'm not going to give away all my secrets, but those two things are the most important things that will help build your credit score real quickly.
I think, Mark, what about the fact that if he got a $200 credit card, please don't spend $200.
No, please don't spend. If you do spend it, at least pay it back before your payment date or before they report to the credit bureau, because that's very important.
Yeah, because it's going to change your whole ratios, and instead of helping you, it's going to end up hurting you.
Yeah, so, and then we talked about what is the ratio last week, so you can go back to our show. You can, Sophia explained very, very well what is the ratio
and then the recordings are on YouTube.
The recording is YouTube as well, if you want to know what the ratio is, what's going on. Mark, you said something very important that I really like, and then you said something because, believe me, I'm in this situation as well. You said something about student loan where you help with consolidate the student.
Loan reconsolidation. What I see the most on people's credit reports is a lot of late payments due to, everybody have different things that happens in their life. And sometimes that causes late payments. So usually I will see what that customer's situation is, and I will refer them to do a loan reconsolidation. And what that does is it takes away the interest rate that you're currently having now, and they will take all of your student loan payments and put it into one. And depending on your income situation, you may not even have to pay your student loans back for up to a certain amount of months or years, depending on your income
situation.
Wow, that's pretty great.
And another thing that happens is when they do reconsolidate your loan, they take the old loan that you currently had and just throw away that. It's just
it wipes it off.
Yes, it wipes it off, and then it goes onto your credit report as a new account, which it will help boost your credit score, and that will start a good payment history all over again.
Wow,
that's good because great. I have. Sure. Let me tell you guys, I have so much student loan. I can become a doctor by now. That's how much I owe.
And you know what? There's a lot of people in that boat out there with 20, 30, 40, 50, 80, depending
keep
on
going
if it's grad 90, 100.
Keep going up. I'm a doctor. Believe me, that much money I owe them. I'm supposed to be a doctor right now.
And if you can wipe out the negative history and start fresh with payments that you can manage today, all that helps with so many different things. It helps your ratios. It helps with credit history. It's just going to positively impact your score. So that's phenomenal. So guys, you can reach this wonderful young man, Mark Calvy, Jr. of Justice League of Credit at
904-339-8051.
Let me tell you, I am in the radio. I'm listening to him. Let me tell you guys, for the first time in my life, the cat took my tongue away. I stopped talking because I'm listening. Can you believe that? I'm like, you should see my face, guys. I'm gazing at him because the information is giving me. I need it myself because I'm like, oh my God, I got so much student loan by listening, because the most thing that hurting a lot of people buying a house right now is the student loan. Student loan really hurt people. I have a customer right now. She cannot be qualified because of the fact that her student loan is over $70,000. And then the thing of the matter, people, let me say that while we open that floor, most of the people are qualified for FHA, and FHA will take 1% of your student loan toward your debt. Let's say that somebody like myself, I have to swallow to tell you my student loan. Somebody like myself who got a $85,000 loan waiting on her to pay. So that's $850 a month I need to pay for my student loan in order for me to have a house. So again, when you have somebody like that who can help you to get that, it's not going to count to your debt to income ratio. You have to jump to it, and then because that is the best information that I can hear from the time consolidating your student loan is one of the best things you can do for somebody, because that's a major major thing in buying a house.
Yeah, because I see it a lot on the reports that I look at. And yes, student loans, yes, is definitely a major issue that's really stopping most people from doing what they want to do. But things can change. Trust me, it can change. You just have to reach out to us. That way we can look at your situation. And again, we can be reached at 904-339-8051.
Awesome. Now, what about inquiries? How does that impact?
Inquiries? Yeah. Yes, inquiries actually does affect your credit score, but not as much. It only affects your credit score by 10%. And usually inquiries will affect your credit score between 2 to 5 points, depending on what your credit score is at the time.
And then 2 to 5 points is a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay, so you'd be like, okay, it's not, let me go apply for this, let me go apply for that. 2 to 5 points is a lot. Let me say that to you. I have a customer of mine who could not get the program, the down payment assistance program because of 1 point. His credit was 639.
And then
because of 1 point, he cannot do down payment assistance.
Yeah.
Usually we do what we call like a wraparound to see exactly if we can boost his credit. We could not find nothing to boost his credit just because he was shopping around, drop his credit, and then guess what? He could not be qualified for the first time home buyer program.
A lot of money on the table.
That's leaving, like you said, a lot of money on the table because he could not get that money he needed because of 1 point. So if you think 5 point is nothing, 5 point is a lot for somebody who need it.
And yes, I see it. And also I see a lot of things such as I have customers of mine that reach out to me because I tell everybody, before you go out and do anything, text me, call me, video chat me, whatever it is, let me know before you get your credit ran because sometimes you'll have people to go out there, that's trying to get a car. I understand everybody is trying to get a car, because time's tough sometimes. And the things that I see the most is they'll go to a car dealership and that car dealership won't tell that person that they about to run their credit about 50 million times. And that all those inquiries will affect your credit report a lot. So the first thing I usually tell my customers, if you're going out to get a car, ask that dealership, how are they going to run your credit, how many times they're going to do it, and what credit bureau do they pull from, because not all dealerships pull from the same
credit bureau.
So then they're going to get a double whammy from that sense.
Correct.
Yeah,
Again,
and you know what? The lenders look at that too.
Exactly.
Because, they want to say, like, how come you have 15 inquiries against your credit? And then, it just makes the loan a little bit more complicated and sometimes a lot more complicated and can take you out of getting that loan approved just by that simple thing about too many people inquiring about you. Then they start investigating who's inquiring and why, why go there?
Again, when you have good credit, when you have a good credit, you don't have to worry about that because you can just go straight to your bank.
Right, exactly. And get or a lender
or a lender just say, hey, my credit is that you don't need that. But when you go to the dealership, they're going to pull your credit over and over until they get you qualified.
And even be careful of all of the things online. Your shopping, the free credit card offers, all of those things coming your way. This is a time to be very, very conservative because if you have a dream of owning a house, guess what? You've got to start. Ella says, what do you say? The prescription?
Yeah.
One of the main points of this prescription is don't accumulate unnecessary credit that is unessential to building your credit. All right? So all of the things that you may want to buy, the furniture,
even the car, believe me, even your car, buy a house before you buy a car.
Yeah.
A house can help you buy a car, all right?
But a car cannot help you buy a house.
No, because it's depreciating before it even leaves the lot.
And then it add to your debt to income ratio too. So a house can help you buy a car, but a car cannot help you buy a house. You have to always know that.
Exactly. So this is a time you're interested in a home, you're dreaming of it, you can feel it. You've got resources who can help you get your credit to where you want it to be, but watch your spending patterns, watch your credit profile, guard everything diligently. don't go out there and get 10 new credit cards unless this young man advises you to get some new lines of credit, and follow whatever his plan is to the T, and you will get to where you want to be. But this is, a lot of us, no names, right? A lot of us have a problem following a plan, and we don't like people to tell us what to do because we believe that we know it better. What I've learned in this particular area of credit is I really don't know it better. So this is the time. If he tells you to do A, please do A. Tells you to do B, please do B, because he will get you there faster than you can get yourself there. With all the analysis, with everything that you research online, with all the Google research, internet research, it still boils down to a few very strategic things in a short time frame that can bump your credit score.
I have to say something. I'm going to let you say that. I have a good friend of mine that went to buy a car. And when he go for the car dealership, he had a check in his hand because he went to his bank. The bank gave him X amount of dollars to buy the car. And then he have his check in his wallet. So you go to the car dealership and then say to the car dealership that I'm here to buy a car. So, and they said, are you going to buy? I said, I'm going to buy cash. They respect you. They don't know you already have a loan from a bank. And then they respect you too when you said, no, I have a cashier check from my bank. And then when a bank hand you a blank cashier check, that means,
wow, you're good.
Yeah.
They
respect you. When so again, your credit, when your credit to the level you want to be, a bank trusts you enough to give you
that's
blank
incredible.
cashier check. I say blank cashier check, so you can
Whose
sign
bank
whatever
is
you
that?
want. So when a bank lend you that for you to go buy a car,
Yeah.
they respect you
Yes.
because they realize that
Absolutely.
it's because your credit is good. That's the reason you can have that. Again, guys, people respect you when your credit is good. People value you
Very.
when your credit is good. But in the same token too, I see some people when we pull their credit, they cannot buy something cash. They cannot even buy it cash. So again, your credit is
The
your
credit is very, very, very,
important.
very important. And from the job that you get to
from the job,
the things
from
that
your
you can
deal,
own.
from even from
Yeah.
your insurance. I didn't know that your
Oh, yes, they
insurance
check it.
can boost up.
And because if you
Yes.
have
Because of
they,
credit.
they do a credit check, and then your rate all of a sudden you say, well, why is my insurance payment $400 instead of? And Ella has $200. What's the deal? It's
Yes.
the same area, it's the same type of car.
Yeah.
And then you're finding it's because they do a credit.
That's what I tell
They
people.
do. They check
again.
your credit, and then all of a sudden you get not inflated, but you get higher payments, and you are paying the cost of not having good credit. So
Some
if it's
insurance
one
is not
thing-
even gonna take you if your
I know
credit
they
is not
won't,
good.
because they're saying
Yeah,
it's
some
true.
insurance is
That's
not
a
gonna.
fact.
They're gonna look at you, pull your credit. They said, unfortunately, you cannot help you. Even the job you want to apply for a job because of your credit, they cannot do it. Let's say that you want to apply for a job as an economist,
or a financial planner.
financial planner.
Yeah.
How can you be my financial planner if you don't know how to finance? If you
I
can
know.
plan your own finance,
Right,
you know.
right. So let's not take ourselves out of the game.
Yes.
Right. The thing is, we should leverage every opportunity that we can have to use our God-given skills and gifts, and we shouldn't have anything stop us that we can fix. The good thing about credit is it is a fixable situation. Mark, are there any situations where you can say that you can't help, or
Well, you actually touched on a few things when you were speaking, such as a lot of credit cards. One thing I also noticed when I look at a few credit reports of customers of mine, I noticed that they have like 4 or 5 different credit cards, and usually credit cards will help you if you know how to use them right. But if you do not know how to use your credit cards right, they will work against you than trying to help you. And the things that I see the most is the balances are too high, or they make their payments late. But if you if you can manage those credit card payments and do the utilization, then those credit cards will work for you than
Awesome.
against you.
awesome,
So
awesome.
when you're doing your credit analysis
Mhm.
and looking at the person's past history
Yes.
and their payment history, how do you determine or which items should the priority of those items, which items should be paid first, which items last, and where do like medical and health issues fall in if you have like a medical payment.
Yes, usually what I look at is how recent is the actual account, especially if it's collections. In general, anything that's within 24 to 36 months affects your credit score. Anything after that, it doesn't. But the payment history still affects you in some way, but over time, it doesn't. When it comes to medical bills, I had situations where they had accident and had an attorney. Everything was paid out through attorney claim, but for some reason, because it was probably paid out late, it still got reported to the credit bureau, and usually the collection company doesn't know, hey, you already paid that out, so you have to send out information or let them know, like, hey, it's not supposed to be on there. It's already paid. But there's certain steps that has to be done in order to get that medical bill or any information off your credit report, because almost 95% of things that's on your credit report are wrong.
Mm-hmm. I had that come up with a customer recently. He was initially denied a couple of places, but fortunately the loan officer had a conversation with him and asked, you're still paying on both of those cars? He said, what? I only have one car, and I have my work car. What are you talking about? And so then they realized that there was an item on his credit that he had already resolved,
yes,
but was as if it was still an open account.
And
that made all the difference.
Yes, and that's what I was telling you. Again, almost 95% of things that's on your credit report are wrong. So
then it's definitely an opportunity to just analyze it and not take it for granted.
Yes.
That because it's reported, it's correct. But it's a lot easier to get it fixed if you use the help of Justice League.
Correct.
Than figuring out which ones do I write, what letter do I write, that they will be, you can dispute it, but then you've got to dispute with the 3 different credit reporting agencies, and then it becomes a lot more complicated, and you've got to monitor it. It's such a relief to have somebody who can handle all of that for you.
And you do that for them?
I do everything for them. Yeah. And everything is transparent. Everything that I do from start to finish. So I make sure everybody knows what's going on at all times. And you get a customer portal. You get letters sent to your emails letting you know, hey, this is what's been disputed. When you get a text message saying, hey, this is what's getting sent out. So everything is transparent.
Okay.
Can you tell the listeners about also how you're paid? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Our services right now are $89, and again, it's $89 a month, and we dispute everything. We dispute medical bills, we dispute inquiries, collections. We help you with student loans. We also help you get if you had issues in the past with bank accounts, but that's a different
program.
A different program.
But you can help our listeners who want to own a home, who have low credit ratings, low credit scores. You can help them for the $89 a month.
Yes, $89. Yes.
And how do they reach you?
They can reach me at 904-339-8051.
And that is an incredible price because there's so many other companies out there who are charging tons of money up front, and then you don't get the results. I have to say that work with this young man and follow his prescription, follow the list of things to be done so we can get you, so Team ROC can get you to the closing table.
I have to say that I have customer that I send to different credit repair, and then I realize that they're not doing nothing for that person. I myself tell the customer to cancel, not continue with the program because sometimes
when you find a good person,
you hold on to it, because I have customers I send to different credit repair. I will like, oh, okay, they're not doing nothing, so stop, go to so and so and said. So that happen all the time. So listen, guys, you need to listen to what he's saying, follow his prescription. I like to use prescription because when they give you a prescription, what you do with it is because you're sick. That's the reason the doctor gave you a prescription. So when they hand you a prescription, you go to the pharmacy and then you get your medication. So that's what that is. So if you follow that prescription, everything is...
I would agree. Now...
So we do have a few programs.
But I'm saying Team ROC is very committed to you.
Yes.
And your desire and your dream of owning your own home.
And then we have a wonderful program for you.
Yes, we do.
The program we do have, I'm sorry, David, you didn't know about it, but we're going to say something to you about it when we finish. However,
it's the drum roll, right?
The program is... If you call us and you have a credit issue, we send you to Justice League of Credit, and then you start and you follow the prescription. We will pay up to 3 months of your credit
at the closing
table. We pay up to 3 months. So it's simple. If you spend $300, we at closing will reimbursing that to you at closing.
And that's our commitment to you.
To you. So to show you we're investing in you.
We are investing in you to get you to the closing table. You paid up front because you need to have some, you need to have some investment in it.
Yeah.
Right? On average, Mark gets his customers to the right credit score within a 3 month or so time frame. So we're asking you, get started on the road. Don't let cost be a deterrent, because once you get the right credit score and we get you under contract at that closing table, you will be reimbursed for for those 3 months. So up to 3 months of credit repair service.
But we have to get a report from Mark saying that you're following the prescription.
Exactly.
If we get a report from Mark, say that you are following everything that needs to be followed, you're doing everything you need to do, but we're not gonna just do it because you're not.
And of course, you'd have to be under contract, a real estate transaction.
Yeah, so that's something we pay for you at closing table.
Right, but those who are dreaming, it's real. It can become real. Your dream of owning a home, despite your credit score, can become real. All we ask you to do is dream big. Don't lose hope. Get on the road to home ownership. Put the plans in place. One of the pieces of the plan, of course, is going to be getting your credit repaired and restored with Justice League of Credit. Once that's done and you feel it, Ella, David, and myself, we will be so excited to show you the home of your dreams and get you into that home. And we will, of course, our skin in the game is going to be that we will invest in you by reimbursing 3 months of credit repair service at the closing table.
If you want to take advantage of this opportunity, you can give us a call here at Team ROC at 904-385-9169. And to get a hold of Justice League of Credit, how do we do it?
Yes, it's 904-339-8051. Or you can also find us on Facebook. Just type in Justice League of Credit and you'll find us.
Okay, awesome. We have a few questions. Actually, I wasn't there because I had something to do. My bad. So, I have a question for you, Justin. Why did I call you Justin?
You stuck on the name of his big customer.
I want to know the reason why I call you Justin. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I have a question for you, Mark.
Yes.
Let's say that for somebody like myself, I'm giving myself as an example, who got over $80,000 loan.
Yes.
And then I have credit card under my name, which I'm paying on time, and then I have other stuff that on my name. What can I do for you to help me with my student loan as well as my credit card in order for me to be in the right code for me to buy my home?
So first thing is, I will have to actually look at your credit score, credit report actually, see everything in front of me, and then once we go from there, I will give you the information that you need to get those student loans reconsolidated and get that credit card situated for you.
So are you telling me my credit is not gonna blind you?
No,
because it's so bad, it blind me like God.
I've seen scores from 3s, 4s, 5s. I've seen them all.
Now, what about people with no credit?
Yeah,
No
tell me
credit?
something
How
about
can you
no
do-
credit.
What can you do?
Actually, that's really
Better.
best because you can start fresh. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have any no negative accounts, anything like that. So the best thing for you to do actually will be to build credit. Go out, get positive lines of credit, but don't get too much that you can't handle. Get what you can afford and what you can handle.
How you
Now,
end
what
up being no credit? Because I have a friend of mine, actually 2 friends of mine, they end up having no credit. One of them, because everybody know I'm from Haiti. Hello, you know, Pride Island. He went to Haiti for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
When he came back, everything eliminated his credit, so he ended up being completely. We call that in the real estate life. You become a ghost.
Yeah.
So what happened? Why they do that? Is because when you don't use it, you lose it.
Because usually after 7 years, everything gets taken off, or he just probably had some good luck.
So yeah, he become a ghost. Nobody
Yes.
knows him, and then
then
when
he's
you
gotta
credit,
rebuild.
so you have to rebuild his credit.
Correct. So the
And then
best-
also we have some people who just came to United States, and then they just issued their Social Security. They don't have no credit, so
Yeah, the best thing to do is to get what I talked about earlier in our segment is a secured credit card and also a credit builder account from a bank. And that will help build your scores throughout the process.
That's awesome. So, guys, credit, you can be helped. Bad credit, you can be helped. Good credit can be made great, so you
Yes.
can get the lowest rates that a lender can offer you and the best terms. So there's a
we
place
love
for
the good
everyone.
credit. We
and
enjoy as
we
a
love the
realtor.
good rate.
Oh my God, we enjoy that.
We can work with the fair.
But when we work with fair, we definitely will work with bad.
Yes, we
So
do.
there's 3 level of your credit. Yes, there's 2 level of your credit. There's good, fair, and bad. So we love the good. We enjoy the good, but we
And we're proud of
work.
you for having good.
We're proud of you when you have good, because that's saying that you owe somebody. Even as a real estate perspective, when we have somebody who have good credit, we feel good working with that person. The reason why we know that we're not gonna hunt that person down. The person is very reliable. The person is a yes or no person. So we like that.
Yeah.
So
But you know
when
what?
you have bad credit, also we like working with you.
Yeah.
Don't they mean that? So
Yeah,
I'm just
whether
saying
it's-
that because I want them
I
to
know.
know that the respect or the level of respect you have when you have good credit.
But we know that life can sometimes happen, which is
Exactly.
what makes
Exactly.
people,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you didn't want to do things the right way. Sometimes life can hit you, but the whole point is we will work with you every step of the way. If your dream is participating
your
in this
home.
wonderful world of real estate, either owning or investing, whatever the case may be, we're here to be with you every step of the way. And I know we are needing to wrap up.
Yeah, but to come on and tell me exactly where they can reach you.
Yes, they can reach me or my marketing manager, Denise, at 904-339-8051, or you can find us Facebook. Just type in Justice League of Credit.
Okay, Ms. Joanne, do you have anything to say before we go?
It's been a joy, and I can't wait to help as many of you out there on the wonderful road to owning your own home or real estate.
Mr. Devihan?
I feel exactly the same way. I just want to remind people to take advantage of the opportunity that was announced here on the air. And to find out more, call us at Team Rock at 904-385-9169.
And that was your your woman, Ella Marie Jean Baptiste, coming to you guys straight from residential movement of real estate group. And then again, our number is 904-385-9169. We are the team who will get you back to the closing table. Until next time, have a good day.
Are you thinking about buying or selling a home in Florida? Whether you're considering your first home, relocating, downsizing, upsizing, moving out, moving on, or planning to acquire an income-producing property as an investment, Team ROC of Residential Movement Group is your real ownership connection. They are Florida Realtors Joanne Beepot, David Ham, and Ella Marie Jean Baptiste. For rock-solid professionalism and expertise in all aspects of real estate transactions, lean on Team Rock to help you accomplish all of your real estate goals. Contact Team Rock at 904-385-9169, offering you service in English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Haitian Creole at 904-385-9169. Also listen to Team Rock here on the Rock Real Estate Radio Show every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m.